told you we'd be back. Hello, it's Adam and Sam once again via Zoom. For reasons. Saturday mornings, they're going to be Zoom for a little while. Sorry. I apologise. We're back in the studio most of the time. Give us a break. I'm not even wearing trousers at the moment, so...
Go on,
anyway,
show it off. Show it off.
Speaking of not... Well, trouser news, we got some interesting stuff coming up here. Can't wait to talk about this. Let's take a look at the headline, shall we? John Cena allegedly goes off script on SmackDown. AEW have announced some big new signings. And we've got the latest Malakai Black testicle news. Stay tuned. Right, we are kicking things off with, after a great night of action on last night's SmackDown, John Cena allegedly being a bit of a naughty boy. You make your own mind up here, but there's a clue or two as to whether or not he has been naughty. So in the opening segment, barbs. Big words being spat between the big dog and the big match, John. And he called Roman a below-average D, and then Roman came out and he was like, you're not good enough to win the Universal Championship. 20 years of missionary was good enough for you, but it wasn't good enough for Nikki Bella. Oh! I'm going to smash you, not like that, and send you back to Hollywood. And then Cena... it comes back and he's like, you've always been protected by the Shield. You almost ruined Seth Rollins. You ran Dean Ambrose out of WWE. No, that was Vince McMahon. And then he went on to say, I'm going to take your title and jump the barricade and run out of Allegiant Stadium as fast as I can. And I might even blow you a little kiss goodbye. Who did that? Who did that? So he's referenced one AEW star and one probably soon to be AEW star. Now, the reason that people are saying, and the reports are circulating, that he's gone off script here is, first of all, both Roman and Cena are given very rough bullet points and they are allowed to sort of do what they want. But more interestingly, this was uploaded to the WWE on Fox Twitter account, the mention of Punk specifically, but it was very, very quickly pulled. So it's still up on WWE's YouTube channel, but they've cut the Dean Ambrose bit from the YouTube channel. So
well, he doesn't explicitly mention Punk, does he? So Ambrose is kind of the one. I mean,
no, you're right. Yeah,
but he doesn't say CM Punk.
He doesn't name him. That's fair. But I think we all knew what he was getting at there. So I mean, they did say, and there were reports circulating before SmackDown last night that they were going to try and add some fuel to the fire. Not that this match really needs it. I mean, you can sell that on name value alone, right? Roman Cena. But they've gone out there and they've got people talking. Job done. Did he go off script? We'll let you decide in the comments. Don't slag us off too hard. Over to AEW now. Two new big signings announced last night. First off, who is it, Samuel?
So first off, it is Fuego del Sol. So he was wrestling Miro in the TNT Championship match. The crack was if he won, he'd get the title and a contract offer. So naturally, he was absolutely destroyed by Miro. But following the match, out comes Tony Khan with Sammy Guevara and a clipboard. He hands Sammy the clipboard. Sammy goes down and presents him with the contract anyway. Now, the reason Sammy Guevara was chosen was apparently that they are best friends. Like, they're just best mates. They work together a lot on Sammy's YouTube channel, and Fuego del Sol is, of course, a member of the Being the Elite kind of YouTube revolving door cast.
The universe.
The universe. And he's a regular on AEW Dark. But, I mean, it's sort of a no-brainer. Like, I think AEW needs to just keep on top of all of this. They just need to keep on top of talent, bring talent in as best they can, and utilize them. Like, when they know they're popular, definitely, because you've got people here that are, exposed to multiple audiences that are kind of establishing themselves without just the TV time. And I think that shows a lot more initiative to really drive yourself forward than somebody who maybe just turns up and, wrestles.
Yeah, for sure. The other signing, tell you what, you're not going to hate her. Who is it?
It's Jamie Hayter.
So
she is.
What are the chances?
So former Rev Pro undisputed women's champion Jamie Hayter appeared at the end of Rampage and attacked Chris Statlander and Red Velvet in the show-ending scene. Now Britt Baker had just retained her title over Velvet in the main event. She went to inflict more damage. Statlander ran in and physically prevented Baker from curb stomping Velvet's face onto the women's belt, and then that's when Hayter hit the ring and helped Baker attack them both. Now AEW confirmed that Hayter had officially signed with the company afterwards, per their usual, the "is all elite" tweet, and she was primarily wrestling in promotions such as Rev Pro and Stardom over the past few years, as well as various UK indies, and she vacated the Rev Pro British Women's title at the end of June because she was offered a tryout for WWE UK, but now has signed with AEW. She's definitely one of the bigger names on the UK indie scene, so this is a huge get for AEW for sure.
It's cool. It's cool. She's really good. Baker's got a new friend, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes as well. Stay tuned. Sticking with Rampage now. Tony Khan announcing that the AEW Rampage commentary team will not always be 4 people. Actually, last night they did a hell of a good job. I thought they were really good. Mark Henry especially surprised me with how good he was.
Yeah.
But it won't always be that way. So last night we saw Excalibur, Taz, Jericho, and Mark Henry on the team. But Tony Khan said, well, it's going to be a 4-man booth for part of the show, but it's not always going to be a 4-man booth. We're going to have 4 hosts to the show, but because of Busted Open, Mark is in a really unique position. He's a great host, a great interviewer. He's going to stay on his toes because I think he'll be out there with the guys calling some of the action. And he continued basically just saying that Jericho won't always be there, but that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, so Mark Henry's going to be used for kind of in-ring interviews, running around backstage, kind of frantic, getting the opinion after the match, that sort of stuff. By the sounds of it, and Jericho, of course, is going to have his own matches on Rampage to worry about, so won't always be there. So
it was a really solid show, just an hour of really, really good wrestling. It's difficult to know exactly what the show's going to look like just because it was such a unique episode last night. So you can't fully get a feel of what it's going to be about. But obviously, it's very wrestling-centric. It was just really nice. And, I don't want to harp on about bloody Raw going 3 hours because we complain about it so much. But it got me thinking, it's like WWE obviously make a lot more money by doing that extra hour of programming. But in the long run, how much do you think that's hurting them? Because it's really difficult for fans to give 3 hours on the week, on the weekly.
If Raw was an hour, I could happily stay up and watch it. If it was an hour and a half, I could happily stay up and watch it.
Two's fine.
Yeah, two's absolutely fine. But the thing is that I'm excited about Rampage is that if it helps light more of a fire under WWE's arse, then I'm all for it. And if it shows that wrestling can work on a smaller scale, and if there's a way that it can be monetized and the advertisers aren't going to be harmed by that diminished amount of time, which of course is nigh on impossible because the whole crack is the amount of ad breaks, the sheer volume of them. But so long as it kind of drives them to do better because AEW really puts so much into what they're doing, then I'm happy.
Yeah, for sure. Sticking with AEW again, sending our best wishes to Rio, who's been out of action since July the 12th, where she wrestled on Dark Elevation, defeating Amber Nova. In an update, you might have been wondering where she's been. Wrestling Observer newsletter reporting that she's been out of action due to a bad reaction to the COVID-19 vaccine. She's reportedly feeling a lot better, should be back in action soon. It's one of those things like it can knock you out. Well, you can knock you out for a day. It might not knock you out at all, but some people get it really bad and it can be a few weeks or even longer. So sending our best to Rio. Back to NXT now. Candice LeRae addressing her NXT status. Her and Johnny Gargano, of course, announcing that Candice is pregnant, so congratulations to them. She took to Instagram and said, I don't plan on being away until I absolutely have to. Indie clearly needs me and I want to be there for my locker room of girls as long as I possibly can. However, I do have to take a step back from my favourite part of this business for a while, physically wrestling. But I know this little one's going to be so very worth every second away from the ring. Bless her, isn't that lovely? Yeah. Don't expect to see her getting physical or anything like that, but she's going to be sticking around on TV, which is great because she's awesome, isn't she?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And we're finishing with the best news that I've been really, really looking forward to talking about. So this is breaking news regarding Malakai Black. Literally breaking news regarding Malakai Black's obliterated bollock. Black appears on X-Pac's Pro Wrestling for Life podcast this week, where he's talked about a very serious injury that he had a little while ago. And it's like we're presenting this as a joke, but this is super serious.
Yeah,
this is nuts.
it's massive. It's
nuts. It's nuts. Ridiculous. He tore his testicle into 7 pieces.
7 pieces.
Just sit on that for a second. 7 pieces. So he messed up a landing while wrestling Ciampa, which resulted in him landing groin first on the post. He didn't realise what happened, and then he carried on wrestling for over 20 minutes. Got backstage, passed out.
He cut a
went to the
promo
hospital.
as well.
Did he? Got to the hospital. Had to wait hours to have his 7-piece bollock sewn back together. I don't know how they do it.
So essentially, he apparently got back through the curtain, passed out, and then got up, passed out again, and everybody was like, he's joking on. And it was Chris Hero who went, no, something's wrong, took him to the hospital. But yeah, they got to the hospital, and after waiting, he was presented with 2 options. One was, we can just snip it out and you're all good. Second is, we can put it back together and you'll take 3 months off. And he went, I'll take 3 months off.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology. Absolutely insane. So there you go. X-Pac, no stranger to down their injuries.
Oh, God.
His ass fell out, didn't it? We won't talk about that anyway. It's Saturday morning. We don't need to be talking about this anymore. But anyway, an interesting tidbit regarding balls. So that's us. Sam, enjoy Mike Oldfield.
I will do. Thank you very much. You enjoy the rest of your day.
I'm going sanding now. I'm going to go back to bed, actually. It's 6 in the morning, so good to go. All right, you guys have a good weekend too, and look after your balls.
Yes, don't let them obliterate into 7 pieces.
7 pieces. It's easily done.
Oh,
We've all
so
been
easy.
there. See you in a bit. Bye.
Bye.